What is up, my loves? It's the Scorpion Empress. It's me. So I decided to do this video because I want to address a couple of things that are relationship based. This is obviously astrology related, and it's just something that I have learned throughout time. It's not something that I learned within like a couple of months. It's something that I've been researching and reading about for a couple of years now. So one of the main topics that I see that a lot of people don't understand about like just relationships in general, right? So like a lot of people go, oh well, this didn't work because of this, and, or like it's kind of like an excuse as to why something didn't work with someone. Okay, so let's just touch base on that first. Let's talk about that, and then I'm gonna explain a couple of things to y'all. Okay, when you're dealing with someone, doesn't matter who it is, there are certain things you should look for, certain things you should understand before you're dealing with the person that you're choosing to date or the person that you're choosing to entertain. Because obviously, if I'm giving you my time, it means that at some point in time, this is going to get somewhere. It can get somewhere. Okay. So the first thing I want to discuss is basically it's astrology related. So when you meet someone, you should always check to, it's not only Western, but to me, the number one astrology you should be looking at is actual Chinese astrology. Even like if you want to get pregnant, things like that, it'll damn near tell you what sex you're gonna have based on your age. And the Chinese calendar is always 100% accurate. Like they have empresses that use that for a lot of things, for money. So the Chinese astrology is damn near what y'all should be looking at when you are entertaining someone. Yes, the first thing that attracts you is their face or whatever, right? Someone could have great conversation with you and be your enemy sign. Like, for example, Denise Richards, Charlie Sheen, that's his enemy sign. That's the reason why his life turned into shit and his marriage and divorce was a shithole. Okay. A lot of us, unfortunately, when we're not educated in astrology, we don't know these things. We don't know that the people that we are in business with, in any kind of relationship, so business, love affairs, you know what I'm saying, friendships, we don't know that we could be dealing with an enemy sign. So, for example, right? Um, if for example you're with someone and you really really like this person but things are really turbulent, there are certain things you should look out, right? Placements are very important, very very important. But most importantly, it's like it doesn't really matter what Western astrology, which is like Aries to fucking Pisces, that's what it's called, Western astrology, okay, says, because you have so many other placements in the chart that y'all need to look at. All right. Certain houses is what I'm going to call the signs, don't play well with other houses. All right. But most importantly, if you're dating an enemy sign, it doesn't matter what the Western astrology says. This person could be a damn Gemini, right? And you could be like, oh my God, I get along with Geminis. I really have a great relationship with Geminis. All right. That don't mean a damn thing. You could have a nightmare with this person if this person has enemies, if they're an enemy sign of yours. All right. So, for example, like obviously, y'all need to look up y'all stuff to see what your enemy sign would be. But this is going to explain a lot of things of how people don't get along with people, why relationships don't work out with certain women and men, and why you guys literally are like killing each other after you break up. All right. So, for example, right, if you have a dog dating a dragon, those are the enemy signs, right? You can't have that. Um, not even for business purposes. You can't have that combination because dogs are very loyal people. And so let's say that the dragon makes a decision without um, letting the dog know. So a dog, it has certain years. Y'all gonna have to look it up, all right? What would end up happening is that that person is going to feel slighted. So because dogs are all about loyalty, they're gonna feel some type of way about someone doing something without asking them for permission, or they're gonna feel like you're betraying them. And that's going to cause chaos. It's going to be a wreckage. All right. Look up your person's horoscope. I completely am telling you, this will tell you a lot. This will explain everything. And then once you're in the clear, you're like, okay, my guy is not a enemy sign of mine, or my girl is not an enemy sign of mine, the person that I'm talking to, right? Your next step should be look up your person's chart. All right. Check their placements. It will completely tell you why sometimes they act aloof, or why sometimes they act angry. Like they could have a lot of fire in their chart. If they have a lot of air placements, they'll be detached, even if they're a water sign. Y'all got to look up your person's chart. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but I'm going to keep repeating until it beats in your head. Those are very important. The Chinese astrology and your person's chart's placements. All right. Another thing, I know it's a lot. Look up your person's um, soul path number. It's very important to look up their soul path number and their life path number. Their soul path is basically what they came into this world, in this life, to achieve. All right. If they, so for example, like you could be dating somebody that's always fucking working, always trying to like be on the grind to make money, trying to be successful, trying to reach their goal, their money. And you'll see that they'll have some shit like a life path 8 or a life path 5s. They like their freedom, but they also like money a lot. So you got to look at the person. It's going to explain a lot. Sometimes we are with the wrong life path numbers. Your children, when you have children, right? You need to be careful. Do not be just randomly having sex and getting pregnant just because you're in the heat of the moment, because that will determine what your child's life is going to be. Understand? All right. If y'all don't, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm here to explain some stuff, right? Number one, Chinese New Year. Look it up. Number two, birth chart placements. Forget if they Aries, Taurus, Scorpio. Forget that shit, because not every single sign is going to be the same. Like I personally don't act like every single Scorpio I know out here. I know Scorpios that I'm just like, You know what I'm saying? But like I said, my placements are completely different than someone else's. All right. Someone's life path, if it doesn't match one of the people that you are supposed to be in a harmonious union with, it doesn't matter what you do. If they are your opposite sign in the Chinese lunar, you can break your fucking neck trying to please this person, and it will never work out. It will always end up in a separation. It will always end up, someone's going to go with someone else. Y'all are not going to stay together because you're not supposed to. Okay. I don't care how much you love this individual. You can want to slit your wrist for someone. Okay. That doesn't mean anything. Look up your person's soul path number. Look up their life path number. The soul path is just what the journey is that they're here to do. You must always make sure you look up someone's life path number. Make sure that y'all make sure that they're not like your enemy sign and shit like that, and like the Chinese zodiac, because don't waste your time. Like dead ass, don't waste your time trying to date someone that you know is your enemy sign. That is sheer stupidity, a waste of time. One thing we can't get back in life is time. We can't go back in time. I'm sure some people out here have some time machine, but guess what? Unless you're filthy, dirty, rich and have one of those, you're not gonna be able to do all of that. And remember, when things get changed, they say that if you go back into your past, you cause a ripple in time and change things and cause chaos in the future. So yeah, that's a whole nother subject I'm not going to get into right now. We're talking about relationships and why they don't work. I see many people on a daily basis, and I have had conversations with a lot of people throughout my life. And people always say, well, I don't understand why I have 3 or 4 kids with this guy, and this person, I wasted this many years, 15, 20 years, and this shit just didn't work out. This person never did this and that for me, even though I was so good to them. It's not about you being good to them. I need for y'all to get that out of your mind, right? And I'm gonna do another video on like women and how y'all should stop letting men treat you like the bottom of your foot, right? But we're not talking about that. We're gonna talk about just astrology related, okay? For me, right? When I was younger, talking about my early 20s, I always used to say I'm most compatible with Scorpio because I've dated them, Virgo energies, and who was the other one that I used to date that I always thought was, I used to like Aquarius a lot, like for dating, but I didn't like the detachment that they had. They're very detached because air signs are detached, right? Um, but Aquarius, the way that they love is different than the way that the other signs love. All right. And Leo was the other one because I dated a couple of people that were those signs. As I got older, though, right? Because, obviously I'm not with those people now. So as I got older, I started to investigate because I track a lot of water signs, believe it or not, y'all. I started to investigate why I did not have, like, why those situations that I was in did not last. Like, yeah, they were relationships of years, but it didn't get to like where it should have got to. And I start to investigate. And so I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's life path is damn near the opposite of what the fuck I'm supposed to be with. The people that I would make a good harmonious relationship with, this person is not in that life path number. And then I'm looking at their Chinese signs and I'm like, holy shit, this makes a lot of sense. Why this person was sneaky, why this person was this, why this person was that. And my eyes opened up like popping a can of tuna. Okay. And I was just like, what the fuck? Because now I'm thinking like the disservice that we do for our children when we just have our children and don't plan their life paths. All right. I'm gonna talk about life paths and what they actually mean and stuff like that later on. But you should always like be careful because certain life paths could create struggles, okay, for your children in the future. Like a life path 11 is a very good life path to have. Um, a life path 5 is like freedom, but a life path 8 is karma. Okay. So I think the life path 7 can't, I'm not sure, I don't remember. I believe it's the life path 7 that can't be with a 5 because a 7 is more of a passive type of life path, and 5 is more free. They want to travel, they want to do this, they want to do that, and they don't settle down until they're very older because of that, because they don't like to feel enslaved. They like their freedom. But that's a whole different story, y'all. I just simply wanted to touch base on basically relationships and why things are not working out for some of you guys. And I'm just letting y'all know, like, just look it up, okay? I'm gonna do another podcast for y'all about other stuff on here. And I do got another channel that I'm gonna tune y'all into so y'all can follow that, because I do talk about relationships on there. So you guys can yeah, follow it, and just, it'll help a lot of my ladies that I see that are struggling and, going through shit, because I wish that when I was younger, or even like when I had my issues, I wish somebody would have sat down and taught me about astrology. I wish somebody would have been like, hey, the reason why your situation is this when it's so chaotic is not because of this person is a Pisces, or it's not because this person is a Cancer, or this or that. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with that, y'all. It doesn't. It has to do with the Chinese astrology and their life path numbers. Okay. So life path 5 is best to marry a life path 3 and a 9, I think it is, y'all. So just look it up. It's just a tip for y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Ciao, you guys. Don't forget to like my videos.